Starboard, formerly Olympic Media, announced today that it has concluded the acquisition of Parler, the world's pioneering uncancelable free speech platform. So right there, they say how cool Parler is, right? And then the second paragraph, they basically say, okay, Parler is actually shit. No reasonable person believes that a Twitter clone just for conservatives is a viable business anymore. Well, so you're
Well,
saying
hang on.
that all these other platforms are shit, and so was Parler.
Why? I mean, look, I get they just by the idea that it's supposed to be free speech makes it conservative. That's the only thing. I mean, did they really come out and say this is for conservatives, or was it just because they weren't going to ban people for saying for having wrong think that innately makes it conservative? You see what I'm saying?
I do see what you're saying. And I think the only reason why it didn't become way bigger is because Amazon and Apple stepped in and shut it down. I remember signing up for Parler or reusing my account that I just signed up for, in name when it came out. And when Twitter and Facebook were banning and shadow banning all these people, I gained like 1,000 followers in like a week. And then that's when Amazon Web Services shut it down and Apple Store shut it down because you're not doing enough to stop domestic terrorism and
Yeah,
bunch of
that's the
crap.
classic. The classic. Well, if you don't like it, start your own, and then you start your own, and they say no, you can't do that.
And they take it away. Yeah. It was disappointing, however, back when that happened that, obviously InfoWars has the infrastructure to support their own platform. Rumble, of course, did that shortly after. It's kind of sad that they didn't see that coming. Like who is running your operation where you're just like, well, we'll just rely on Amazon and Apple. They'll really have our back. So this press release goes on to say that George Farmer, which is Candace Owens' husband, did a great job. Um, being the CEO of Parler. Now, what they go on to say here is that they're going to shut it down and they're basically going to strip it for parts, is how I read it. So let's read this and we'll see what everybody else thinks. While the Parler app as it is currently constituted will be pulled down from operation to undergo a strategic assessment, we at Starboard see tremendous opportunities across multiple sectors continue to serve marginalized or even outright censored communities. Heavy buzzword for marginalized there, even extending beyond domestic politics. Advancements in AI technology, along with the existing code base and other new features, provide an opportunity for Starboard to begin servicing unsupported online communities, building a home for them away from the ad hoc regulatory hand of platforms that hate them. So, on one hand, you say we're gonna continue building this platform for people who aren't heard against platforms that hate them, but at the very beginning, they said, you're not reasonable if you think a Twitter for conservatives is a viable business. So I think they're kind of, talking out of their ass at this point. And I mean, no disrespect. I don't know these people. Um, Ryan Coyne and these people at Starboard, they seem to be successful business people. But when they say they're basically going to take here the AI technology along with existing code and other new features, where I'm at this point is it sounds like to me we're going to take the data we've received from people, their emails, possibly their I don't know what they collect, so this is just me talking off the cuff. Whatever data user data they've collected, it sounds to me like they're going to take the platform technology and the user data they've collected and run, which is something you kind of learn if you listen to people like Mark Cuban, who's really in the technology space, and he ends up investing in these businesses, and you're like, why is he doing that when it doesn't seem like it's going to make him that much money? He's looking at it from the technology side. Mailing lists are how people make money these days. The more people you can market things to, the better. And the technology can be taken just like they seem to be doing here, Eric. The AI technology, I don't know what that is that they're using that's AI related. And of course, all the data that they're taking from the company, and they're going to put into something else. I don't think there's going to be a Parler popping back up unless they plan on selling this to, Elon Musk's new everything app that he wants to make. Uh, App X or what, I forget what it's called, Project X, the movie. I don't know. What's
No.
your feeling on this sale here? Because it's
Well,
not Kanye related, right?
well, I didn't think it was ever really going to work, right? I mean, we had Parlor and Truth and Gab, and I think MeWe was one at one point.
Minds.
Minds, yeah. I mean, the list goes on. None of them are going to work, not because they're bad ideas, but because the establishment is so strong and so heavy. Like I said, they constantly will tell you, if you don't like it, go make your own, and then they won't put you on the app store. So there's always going to be a gatekeeper no matter what you do. I didn't think this. I mean, I never really used Parler. I didn't ever really think it was going to work. But for them to say, well, Twitter for conservatives isn't really viable, and again, I don't know if they ever actually concretely said this is for conservatives or if it just became conservative by default because they weren't going to quote unquote ban hate speech or whatever it is these weirdos on the left are talking about. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of like a pump and dump scheme, right? Like, oh, buy Dogecoin or whatever, like we're gonna hype this up. It's gonna be the big thing. They obviously roped Kanye into it for a little bit, and then now it's gone, and they are going to mine your data.
Turn it up, Jordan.